Welcome. The purpose of this video is to walk you through how to change a tax rate. So you've received notification from the state that your tax rate is going to change at the end of the month. Now the best time to do this is right after your tax table prints and resets, which for most of our customers is the last calendar day of a month. So I'm going to walk you through how to change that for a tax rate if it's completely cleared out. I'm going to go to T, my general files, number 1, account information, and letter B, the tax table. I'm going to go into number 3, and I have a tax code of letter P. So I'm going to come in here. Notice that my sales are 0 and my tax collected are 0. All I need to do at this point is click on my F9 to alter, enter down to the rate I want to change, and change it, 4.00. I press my enter key, and then I update, and my rate has changed. Now I don't have any descriptions over here on the left hand side. You don't have to have any descriptions. But those two rates will change, so as your employees then come into the office and start to create tickets, customers will be charged the correct tax amount. Now this, as I said, is with the assumption that your system did its tax table report and your tax table reset, and you've caught this before anybody's come into the building to start business for the next day. In the case that you missed it, you just didn't open the mail, or for whatever reason you didn't realize that the tax was changing until a couple of days after the end of the month, you're going to need to change a tax rate on a live tax code that's already been charging the wrong rate. So if you'll notice on my T tax code, my description is here. My sales collected so far for this month is $765, and my tax collected at that rate is $55.47. I can't go back and undo any of that, but what I can do is run a report for this, clear it out, and then change the rate. So I would suggest that you do this first thing in the morning or last thing in the afternoon, or if you're going to change it in the middle of the day, get everybody out of SBC completely so they're not in the middle of a ticket when you change this tax rate. I'm going to press my escape key and go into my print tax table item number 4. I'm going to choose the store I need to change the tax rate for by pressing the enter key, and then the screen, enter date, allows me to adjust the date. If I leave it as a 0, it's going to print out today's calendar date. That's up to you whether you want to leave that. Batch print, this literally takes 2 seconds. You don't need to change your batch print. Reset entries I'm going to save as a no for now because I want to print this out and make sure I get my information before I reset the report. Detail and total, I'm going to leave that as a detail, and the number of copies is up to you. I'm going to type in my tax code, which from my rate of 7.25% is being charged as my tax code of a T. So I'm going to type in a T. I'm going to type it in my stop as well. If you have a range of tax rates that need to be changed, you'll want to print all of those at the same time. If they're all over the place, you can either in the field mask or field out value put where the rate is 7.25%, or you can just print out the whole thing. It's not going to hurt you to print out one of the other tax rates that isn't being reset at this time. I'm going to press my home key to get my cursor to the bottom of the screen, and then I'm going to press my enter key to print. So once I've printed that tax report, I want to make sure, and I want to physically walk over to my printer and make sure I got the piece of paper with the information on it. I need to reset that tax table. So I'm going to, or that tax code. So I'm going to go to number 4, print tax table. I'm going to enter my store again, and I'm going to up arrow to reset entries and say yes. I'm going to press my enter key, and in the start and stop, I'm going to put my tax code I want to reset. Now, I would either do these, if you have multiples, do them separately, or make sure that your field mask or field value filters worked correctly for you, or you're going to reset tax codes that you perhaps don't want to. So make sure that you're using the appropriate filters, or make sure that you put the tax codes themselves in the start and stop that you want to reset at this point. I'm going to press the home key, and I'm going to hit the enter key one more time. What that did was it actually printed out a second piece of paper for me, which isn't going to hurt anybody, and it also went through and it reset my tax code T. So I can now go into number 3, enter. I'm going to put a T here in the tax code, and notice now my sales collected and my sales and my tax collected are all zeros. I'm going to press my F9 key or hit my edit button. I'm going to bypass the sales and the tax collected, and at the state I'm going to change it to the new rate, 7.5%. I'm going to click the update button, and now my people can get back on the system and start charging appropriately, and anybody who has a code T assigned to their account or to their ship to address will be charged this new rate of 7.5%. As always, I would go up to point of sale, have somebody run the first cash ticket, grab it, and make sure that the calculations came out right, just to be safe. But this is how you would change your tax rates if they happen to change either at the end of a month or in the middle of a month, or you didn't get to it on time. If you have any questions on how to do this, or you want somebody to watch while you're doing it to make sure you do it correctly, please call SBC at 800-829-4722 or send us an email at sbctraining@autolog.com. Thank you so much.